Hello and welcome to Arcade 92. Arcade 92 is an arcade that's inspired by the 1990s, but to truly know about the greatness of the 90s, we have to pay respect to those that came before us in the 80s. And today we're going to be talking about Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was made by Nintendo and was really the groundbreaking game for Nintendo of America, and it has a fascinating story that I want to share with you. So in the 1980s, Nintendo was very popular over in Japan. In fact, Nintendo got its start in the late 1800s as a playing card company, an illegal playing card company at that. So by 1980, they saw that there was a huge video gaming culture in Japan, but a huge video gaming culture also beginning in the United States of America. Nintendo took a big risk and wanted to create a new branch of their company called Nintendo of America. When they came over and they stayed in New York, and they got rent at an old warehouse where Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Donkey Kong, and his team got some warehouse space off the docks in Brooklyn. So, as they're beginning to design their game in this warehouse, they were in love with American culture, and they wanted to make a game called Popeye. Now, Popeye, the part that Miyamoto was in love with was this love triangle concept between Bruno, whatever the big guy's name was, and then Popeye and Olive Oil. And they wanted to make a game based on this love triangle. So they went to the creators of Popeye and they asked them, hey, can we have the rights to produce a video game based on your cartoon? And they, according to Miyamoto, they were laughed out of the room. So they left that meeting completely destroyed, not knowing what they were going to do next. So instead, Miyamoto and his team went back to the drawing board, and they decided to start working on a new game with a love triangle concept. So we have, at this time, this took the place of Popeye, and his name became Jumpman. Pauline was representative of Olive Oil, and Donkey Kong was kind of the big dumb animal guy, named after Brutus. Yes, thank you, Brutus, there we go. So this was the love triangle that they recreated with the same concept that was going on in Popeye, right? Much to their surprise, this became a huge success. And it's one of those life lessons where sometimes being told no is the best thing that can happen to you. Because if it was not for the creators of Popeye telling them no, they never would have had to kind of go and create something original, which they did here with Donkey Kong. Now here's the best part of the story, is at the time they had to keep changing their plans and they were simply out of money. So they went to their landlord, who was letting them rent the space, and this warehouse space on the docks, and they said, hey, we need more time. Is there any way you can let us skip the next couple months' rent? We're almost on a great idea. And again, you got to remember, these guys, they barely knew English. They still barely know English today. If you watch them today, these guys are still involved in Nintendo to this day. They were in a foreign country, in a foreign territory, and because of the generosity of their landlord, the landlord said, you know what, guys, I think you're really onto something here. It's fine. We'll catch up rent later on. They were so grateful for his generosity and his patience and for believing in them that Miyamoto and his team decided to honor him by changing the name from Jumpman to the name of their landlord, Mario. And today, Mario has become a huge icon around the world. One of Miyamoto's goals is to make Mario more recognizable than Disney's Mickey Mouse. And the question is now, from 81 till today, 40 some odd years later, has he achieved that goal? Is the goal still going? That's a question you can ask yourself, and maybe even something you can throw in the comments, has he achieved his dream? Has Mario now, with as many video games as he's in, cartoon series, in a movie, the most recent Universal movie was Super Mario Brothers, has he achieved this goal? So, again, we're inspired by the 90s, but games like this from 1981 set the foundation for the great things that happened in 1992. So come back in, come on over to Arcade 92, grab yourself a drink at the bar, play this icon, this legend, and enjoy yourself and watch history unfold. You could play this game here today. You could play Super Mario Brothers over in our console section. You could play Mario Kart that was released fairly recently, and just see the 40 years inspired by such a great story with Jumpman becoming Mario. So welcome to Arcade 92. It's time to